Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maida and you're watching Maida Pours. Thank you so much for joining me today. If it's your first time here, you are very welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, well, it's so nice to see you again. Welcome back, friend. So, what am I painting today? That's always the question, right? Well, today's painting is very much inspired by a friend of mine here on YouTube and Facebook, a fellow acrylic paint pouring artist by the name of Amy. I'm going to go ahead and put her link in my description. Her YouTube channel is Amy's Creative Acrylics. And very recently, I've been watching her do these schmears, and I was like, I need to do a schmear. And that actually is something similar that I've done before with sort of my swipe and spins, but I'm not going to be spinning today. I'm just going to be schmearing and tilting. Okay, so let's go over the palette here. It's a pretty relatively simple 4-color palette. I do have 2 of my Arteza colors here. So I mixed these 3 paints, the 2 Artezas, which is Pearl Pistachio Green and Pearl Papaya Orange, along with this Artist Loft in Metallic Cobalt Blue. I mixed those up 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint, a dash of Liquitex pouring medium, and water to thin it down to a pretty thin consistency. Really, it leaves a slight trace, but no mound in the cup. I just prefer to work with relatively thin paints, just so y'all know. Okay, and I also have this Payne's Gray by Golden Fluid Acrylic. Love my Payne's Gray, love to put it in just about every pour I do. I added I don't have an exact pouring ratio for Golden Fluid Acrylic. You can find my video on how I mix my paints. That includes Golden Fluid Acrylic. I'll go ahead and link that in the description as well. So Golden Fluid is very thin, and I try to mix these 3 colors down to the natural sort of consistency of the Golden Fluid Acrylic. And then I do have on here, I don't know if you can tell, there is Amsterdam Acrylic Titanium White paint. It's from this big jug I've mixed up of it. I'm going to be not using that all up today. And this is going to be my schmear color. So I'm going to be schmearing with this fun spatula, and I wanted to get kind of a flat surface so I could dip my spatula in without having to like stick it in a cup or something. So I thought this plate would work well for that. So hopefully my thinking is correct. I'm going to go ahead and get these paints out of the way, and we're going to get our canvas out and we're going to get to pouring. Let's go. Okay, so I've got my 20 by 20 canvas here. It just barely fits in the frame. Maybe an inch of it is off, but doing the best I can here, folks. Trying to get the whole thing in the frame for you. And I do have, this is just Artist Loft Flow Acrylic in white. And I'm not going to completely flood my canvas, but I am going to create a nice cushion in the middle to sort of start my painting on here. So, and there's probably there's still like a tiny itty bitty bit left in there that I'll use on the corners if I need to, but that should be good. And I'm just gonna sort of spin that out just a little bit, just to stretch it out a bit. And I'm gonna torch just to get any air bubbles out. Torching for air bubbles, okay. So I am going to start I'm going to layer these colors down, sort of reminiscent of my ribbon pours. That's sort of what it reminded me of anyway when I watched it get layered down. Maybe one of the reasons why I was so attracted to this technique when I watched Amy do it. So I'm going to start with this Payne's Gray, and I am just going to start layering these down. And I'm just kind of going to be, you know, generous, but not too generous. I'm gonna see how it all goes. I'm just gonna stretch this out a little bit, just out of curiosity, see how it's all moving together. Okay. Then I'm gonna come in with my cobalt blue, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little bit of that. Doing some of this, doing some of that. Then I'm gonna come in with this Pearl Pistachio here, and I'm gonna just do another kind of I really like that color. And then I'm going to come in with this papaya orange. So scared of bright orange, but it's such a beautiful color. So we are, and this is very much inspired by Amy. I believe she used papaya orange in the Shmear that I watched, and I was like, oh, that's a beautiful color, even though I'm terrified of using orange. So, all right, so I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna go through there. Whoop. All right, we got a lot of orange in there. Wish me luck with the orange. Okay, then I'm going to take, got it. I've got my plate here and I've got my spatula, and I'm just going to be kind of dipping the bottom of my spatula, wiping it off a little bit, and I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna smear it. Smear it across. Okay. And I always use my, okay, look at, I don't know if you saw all of that pop up, but I did and I like it. And the reason I think, well, I know that's the reason I chose it. I don't know if it's the reason Amy used Amsterdam, but I used Amsterdam because it's kind of known as a cell activator, just in general. And it definitely created some cells there. Okay, I'm gonna come in here. We're gonna smear that out. So pretty. And I'm gonna come down in here and I'm gonna smear this out. But I am gonna leave, I'm not gonna smear everything. I'm gonna leave some of those colors in there. Whoo, see what's popping up. I'm gonna take my torch, pop air bubbles, and also open up some cells, hopefully. Okay. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to put any more paint on this canvas to get it covered, but I'm gonna start by going over this corner up here, and I'm gonna be stretching this out. And I do wanna stretch this way out. I'm gonna bring it back to center, and bring it back over this corner. Because it's sort of like the bottom layer, there's some really fun things happening over there. We're gonna bring it back to center. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this around. I'm just gonna pull that up over that corner over there. And it seems like there's more than enough paint to cover this canvas right now, but we're gonna just get it all the way over first. Get it over that corner. And it is okay if you don't fully cover your corners. You can always sort of pick it up, like I'm gonna do right here, and get that corner fully covered. So you don't have to drop so much paint off your canvas. I just do it with my finger because that's, well, that's just how I roll, people. I do a lot just with my fingers. I find painting to be a messy medium. I embrace the mess. The mess is part of the joy for me, is the freedom of making the mess. And okay, so maybe I don't have quite enough to get it over that corner. I'm gonna use the very last bit of white that I have in my mixing cup here. And we're gonna get that just to help it slide over this final edge. And we're gonna get it all stretched out. And then we're gonna come back in. We're not done. This is like just the first layer. Okay. These are pretty colors together. I'm enjoying them. The pistachio, whew. Could it be any prettier? Okay. That's one of my pistachio, mint, sage, I don't know, all those shades of green that are like a light green, but with a lot of blue tones, more blue than yellow, I guess. I think they're my favorite colors. Okay. So this is kind of, I'm starting here. So I'm gonna start with my Payne's Gray. And I want this to flow through and kind of flow off there. I got myself a popsicle stick. I'm going to also be pulling this through. I want my lines to flow, you know? Don't want there to be broken lines. And I also want there to be sort of a three-dimensional vibe where everything's sort of flowing over itself, into itself, around itself, through itself. What's happening in here is so pretty. I really, really like it. So I want a little bit more orange in this piece. I like the orange over here. I think I want to bring it, ooh, I just spilled on my thing, that's okay. I'm gonna bring it up and through there. And I'm gonna do another schmear with that one. So I got a slightly different palette knife here, not quite as big, but I'm gonna, same concept. I'm gonna schmear it through here. Through there. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of schmearing down this side here. Get a nice schmear. Nice schmear. Okay. That's a wiggly schmear. And I'm gonna schmear throughout there. I really like the white lacing across the orange though. It's really cool. Okay. Gonna come in with my orange popsicle stick and I'm just gonna kind of draw a little orange accent through there. And again through here, sort of highlight that. This one's gonna come down there, okay. I think I'm gonna take another schmear through there. One last, and how many times have I said one last schmear? You should probably count how many times I actually say one last schmear. Probably like 5 times, okay. One last schmear here. Just gonna strengthen that orange a little bit up right there. Okay. I can't stop schmearing, guys. I can't stop. I keep looking at it and going, oh, I want a little bit of that lacing here too, and maybe a little bit here too. So I guess I'm just gonna over schmear. I'm gonna come through right here. Really schmear that out. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Do I want more schmear? Can I ever stop schmearing? No, the answer is no. I just kind of want to make this orange, or this orange stripe look and feel more like orange sherbet. That's like the vibe I'm going for. Orange sherbet vibe. Does that give you an orange sherbet vibe? I don't know. Kinda. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in for a close-up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you down in here for that close-up, really show you these cool details, the cells and the lacing and just all of it. It's really pretty. I'm loving this palette. If you enjoyed, I love how it glows in there. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. That really does help out with the algorithm. And if you enjoy acrylic paint pouring videos, well, consider subscribing because acrylic paint pouring is what I do here. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit that bell notification so YouTube actually tells you when I post new videos. Be sure to check out the link in the description. to my Facebook group. I'd love for you to come and join us over there and continue the conversation. I'd love to know what you think of this painting in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.